You guys, what is going on? Ray's is here, and today I'm going to be reviewing my new favorite SpongeBob episode. Y'all know my top 100? Well, honestly, this would be number one, even better than Kenny's Spare Dime. So today I'm going to go over why I consider it to be the best episode of the whole show. So first I'm going to start off with the plot. So the plot is simple. It's SpongeBob's birthday, and everybody is going to surprise him for their birthday party, or surprise birthday party. And in the midst of that, Patrick takes SpongeBob on a sightseeing tour to Surface Land. And these plots are really good, actually. They're really simple, and I really like them. It's kind of like what the show is, trying to be like in its glory days. The plots in the older episodes were really simple, like in episodes like Christmas 2, which it's one of the more simple specials, and it turned out to be one of the best. So I can see that the writers were trying to go that route, and I absolutely love it. Because honestly, some of the simpler plots make the best of the show. Just look at the secret box, for example. So I'm going to go over the plots one by one, and I'm going to see which is better. Well, each of the plots are all really good, so first I'm going to start off with the Surface Land plot. So this plot is Patrick takes SpongeBob on a sightseeing tour for his birthday, and a tons of shenanigans ensue. Like in the beginning, they go around the surface land, and they go to a beach and, stuff like that, and they mess around there. And then they go around the world as a whole. First they go into an office building, and I kid you not, Patrick wears the same gorilla mask. Or not Patrick, the same people wore the same gorilla masks as Patrick did, and I had an accident, so that's a really nice callback. Speaking of nice callbacks, Patrick made a lot of really funny jokes, like the non-till 4 one and the Krusty Krab one. Speaking of the Krusty Krab scene, this is one of my favorite scenes in SpongeBob as a whole. You want to know why? It takes up a typical day in the Krusty Krab, and I seriously get major Krusty Krab training video vibes with Patrick in this episode, or in this scene. And yeah, it's really funny. Here's another reason why I really like this scene in general. So everybody, they're voice actors, they play the roles as the characters. Tom Kenny, SpongeBob, Roger Bumpus is Squidward, Doug Lawrence is Plankton, and Plankton is hilarious. And yeah, I really love this scene. Now on to the B plot. So Sandy invites everybody in Bikini Bottom to surprise SpongeBob for a surprise party. And I really like this plot because of what they did with it. One, it shows the dedication of her, and it shows how much that everybody really cares for SpongeBob. Two, I really like how many cameos got in this episode. I'm gonna name off a few. Mindy. That's right, Minnie from the first SpongeBob movie, who couldn't make it in the Clash of Trident, even though that was an Neptune episode. She made it here, and I actually started screaming because I was so happy. Next up, we got Flats. We got the eel from Walking Small. There's a lot of nice cameos in this episode, and I screamed almost every single one of them. I'm not even kidding. And I completely lost it when I saw the Hoopla kid from Krusty Krab training video. And there's also that one whale from the episode You Don't Know Sponge. I don't know why he made a cameo, but he did. And it's also nice seeing Bubble Bass have a main appearance again. Like, he's one of the bigger roles in the special, and it's really nice seeing. So yeah, this episode... Back on to the A plot. Another reason why this plot is really good, because it seems like that the characters are actually in legitimate danger. Here's why they're in legitimate danger. They don't know what a dog is, and a dog, tries to eat them, which is actually really funny. And I really like how they're in legit danger here, and it's really nice seeing, and I'll keep repeating myself, but still, it's nice seeing. And also, this plot is really funny. That's really all I have to say. The A plot is really funny, and it's nice that they're actually in legit threat, which is a really good climax. And it's just overall really nice seeing. That's really all I have to say. Now back onto the B plot. I really like how every character has a big role here. Especially Bubble Bass, Squidward, Sandy. I already said that, but I really do love how they each have a main character role. And also, this B plot is really funny, and that's really all I have to say. It's another really funny plot, especially with the whole Krusty Krab scene. That they actually made a Krusty Krab portion of the party. I thought that was really funny. And you also like how everything got ruined in the end for SpongeBob to be very grateful for it. It just shows his character that he's going to appreciate literally everything, and I absolutely love this character trait. So overall, I would say this plot really shows what 20 Years of SpongeBob is. As so many characters in this, like characters like, Mindy, who actually made a role since the first appearance. That was 13 years ago. 13 years ago, my bad, 15 years ago. So that was really nice seeing. The Hoopla kid also made an appearance, which was nice. So many, cameos in this episode, and I really liked all, and it really goes to show how long the series is, and it's really going out of its way to celebrate 20 years, and yeah. And now on to the Patchy segments, and I'm going to say, yeah, they're the best of the show. You want to know why? It's truth or square, done right. Here's why. Patchy in this episode, he really didn't get a lot of screen time here, which I would say is a good thing, because that means he wouldn't have fillers. Speaking of filler, this episode had no filler, which is great for a 44-minute special. And it puts episodes like Truth or Square to shame. Speaking of why this puts Truth or Square to shame, Patchy in this episode finally gets to meet SpongeBob, like actually gets to meet SpongeBob, and it's really, really satisfying to see. And I love this episode, and I really love this ending. It's one of my favorite endings of the whole show, so that's really it. And another great thing about this ending is a tribute to Steven Hillenburg. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick. And thank you, Steven Hillenburg, of all people, for making this show. This show is one of my favorite shows. And thank you for your last episode on the show being one of the best, if not the best episode of the whole show. Overall, I would give this episode my first ever 100 out of 100. I think this episode really deserves it. I know some scenes may have dragged, but not really enough. And they didn't really drag to the point where it's unbearable. So honestly, I would say this considers a perfect score, and I would say it's the best episode of the whole show as a whole. And this is better than Kenny Spare Diamond, Band Geeks, and SB129, and I honestly think it deserves that. So honestly, this is the best episode of the show, and the reasons why I explained show why. And also, another reason why is because of how much dedication went into this. The writers really go out of the way to celebrate 20 years. And this episode really puts Truth or Square to